A summer evening on the outskirts of a small town promised to be calm and quiet. The wind gently swayed the treetops, filling the air with the scent of grass and flowers. In moments like these, it felt as if time stood still, and the world paused in anticipation of something inexplicable. It was on such an evening that Dasha, a young and lonely girl, decided to take a walk in the old park near her home. There was something mysterious and enticing about this park, especially after sunset, when shadows grew longer and the light softened. Passing by the old pond, Dasha felt a strange heaviness in the air, as if someone was watching her from the darkness. But she dismissed it as her imagination and continued on her way. Further along, she heard faint rustling in the bushes. Dasha's heart began to beat faster, but she decided not to pay attention and quickened her pace. The darkness thickened, and there was no one else in the park. Then, just when Dasha was starting to calm down and think about heading home, she noticed a strange figure in the distance. It was a woman in an old, tattered dress, with long red hair flowing down her shoulders. The woman stood with her back to Dasha, unmoving. Dasha's heart froze. She couldn't understand who this was and how she found herself in the park at this hour. Gathering her courage, she stepped forward and called out, "Excuse me, are you okay?" The woman didn't respond, she only slowly turned around. At that moment, Dasha felt that something was wrong. The woman's eyes were filled with an inexplicable sadness and at the same time anger. "Go away," the woman whispered quietly. "Go away before it's too late." Dasha stepped back. The woman's gaze was so intense it felt like it was piercing right through her. Through the darkness and the evening silence, a faint but distinct sound, like rustling among the trees, could be heard. Suddenly, the park lights started flickering and went out one by one. Dasha was left in complete darkness, alone with the mysterious woman and the unsettling rustling that grew louder. "What's happening?" Dasha asked, afraid to hear the answer. "They've come for me," the woman whispered, now walking faster towards Dasha. "And they will come for you too." Dasha turned and ran, not daring to look back. The rustling behind her became louder and closer. Her heart pounded, and her lungs burned with fear and tension. She didn't know what was behind her, but she felt it was something sinister and incomprehensible. Finally, breaking out of the park, Dasha stopped, leaning on her knees, trying to calm her breathing and understand what had happened. The park remained dark and silent, with only the stars above seeming to silently witness her terror. Since that night, Dasha never went back to that park. At night, she would dream of the woman with her eyes full of sadness and warning. And she knew that the rustling and the shadow that had pursued her were something much more frightening than just the wind in the leaves and the rustling of bushes.